Well, hello, everyone. If you are here, it may be because your meditation practice started off feeling excited, but now it may be dipping. It may feel stagnant. You might feel uninspired. So I want to tell you that you're not alone. Many of us begin with our clear intentions, high motivation, and over time, we might get discouraged. We're not seeing results. We start getting frustrated. Start going down spiraling. And once what was exciting and we created all this ritual can start to feel like a checkbox, a chore, something in your to-do list, and rather than how you started, that was something that you actually got to do, that you were excited about doing because there was a promise, there was something that you were hoping for. So one key reason I want to just start off with is because why it might be happening is we started to see it as an obligation, just out of this ongoing, not seeing results, not feeling motivated, and we're not integrating a very important key component. And I'll at the end of this presentation, you'll get it. You'll really, my hope is that this sinks in really, really beautifully, and that is devotion. And I know it might evoke, a religious practice, or like religion, or like that. It might turn people off. But something that is important to note is that when we integrate this concept, this knowing, this practice, it really truly elevates our game. Whether we might. Mother Teresa was devout. That's our mind might go to, okay, that's devotion, but that's not what I'm doing. But she was a testament, really, of this unwavering service. She was devoted, and because there was a bigger meaning, there was a bigger why, there was heart into it. She put her heart into it. And we all know her story, like, so at an old age, how she just changed, revolutionized. Where did she get that much energy? So others, like icons that we know, Frida Kahlo, for example. I mean, she turned her personal pain into power, and her power into this art form. Kobe Bryant is another icon that was, his devotion to his practice made him a legend. And so, to illustrate this concept of devotion and how people, how we can see others, take it into a place where it's just kind of unlimited, right? Like supernatural. But let's not forget those people that are common, like doing the uncommon, like people at Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreats, having instant healings. There is a reason why you came to meditation, why you were drawn into this work. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's what I'm here to break it down into these three things, that we could just highlight those blind spots that might just creep along the way, and it's natural, and how we can actually reflect. So hopefully you have somewhere to write, so you can use this short presentation as ways in which you can make your practice, make yourself fall in love with it again, and realize, oh, these are the reasons why. Oh, this is the big aha. Like, okay, so that's my hope from that you get from this presentation. So I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to share with you this little beautiful presentation that I put together for us. Okay, so I want to share. I put together three key reasons why devotion is the missing piece. And And with this piece, you can reignite your practice and really elevate your performance. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, so I'm going to start with a graph. This is quite technical. This is a heart math graph. And this is the stress resilience and performance graph. I use this all the time in my coaching to show how performance over time, how there's a clear curve. We start off very excited, full of energy, and we are committed, and 30 days go by, 60 days go by, 90 days go by, and we start to, there is a tendency for things, for the curve to go all the way down to burnout. And that's maybe why you're here in this presentation. Maybe you're not quite in burnout. Maybe you are just starting to feel like, hey, I've lost the magic. I've lost that excitement. So what this graph shows us is that it's normal. This is over time, anything that we do, that over time, there is this period of where we're embracing the challenge and we're improving our performance. There's this period of maximum efficiency, and there's a period of hyper-reactive stage, and then emotional exhaustion, and then burnout, but breakdown down there. And this red, there is another graph where it shows a blue curve, and just make a mental note of that. You can look this up online, but the blue line is where we're going with this, is where we are sustaining our performance over time. But there is a key component that goes into sustaining this performance over time, and that's what I'm going to share with you here. So what creates the red line to go down is the internal incoherence, the stress, the impatience, the guilt, the emotions that deplete us. So my question to you for reflection, for you to write down, is where in your current practice have you started pushing instead of receiving? Where are you depleting? Be honest with yourself in your practice. Maybe it could look like when you are meditating, you are in blissful state, but then you're out of meditation and nothing has changed. Or maybe you are in meditation and you are wondering, when am I going to see results? And you're really, instead of getting into the state of coherence, you actually don't even know if you are in the state of coherence. And that's another concept that I share in other presentations, but basically is what? The inner state of coherence, heart, brain, and in alignment, and the systems inside, your blood pressure, your heart rate variability, your nervous system are all in sync. And this is when we are in the void, in the field, in the void, in this beautiful state. Our brainwave patterns are high, elevated. We are tuned in, tapped in, turned on in the coherent state. So write down, honestly, where in your practice have you lost this? Or are you in the state of coherence, or are you resisting, or just not being able to focus? Okay, so that would be reason one, because you're disconnected, and that creates depletion, which then creates why are you here in this presentation? And again, no judgment and no feeling bad, because we all go through this at times. Okay, so reason number two is your devotion must be yours. This is not like a one size fits all. We're not about copying somebody else's version of alignment. It really is all about finding that sacred rhythm for you. So for some people, you really creating this space for you. Some people sit, some people can sit like in lotus, some people need to sit on a chair, some people can do it on their bed without laying down, some people have to go to their basement, some people have to go away from their pets, some people have to put their blindfolds on, have to turn a candle, have to have white noise. These are all things that there's no rules, really. It's finding what resonates, what works in your rhythm. Yes, first thing in the morning is the most optimal. That is, to me, in my practice, if you're my private coach, I'm going to say that is a non-negotiable. And believe me, there are clients that resist this, but it's time and time again. First thing in the morning is one of the best times to create that habit of connecting, because you set the tone of your day. It just helps everything move smoother, and it doesn't have to be a whole hour when you're doing it the right way. So and that is theme for another I just want to focus on this. I tend to get really excited because this is what I teach, this is what I coach. But let's just stick to some of the reasons, why you're not feeling motivated and excited. And so change it up. If you need to change up your meditations, if you need to take a break from certain meditations that you've been doing and go into music, or maybe go into silence, maybe go into nothing, and just watching the flicker of a candle, do that. If you need to maybe turn on some incense just to inspire you, do that. Do you need to bring flowers into your sacred space? Try that. So find that that place, that sweet spot that resonates for you. Maybe you integrate. So the reflection question here is, okay, what things can you do different? What activities make you feel most connected? And that you won't know that until you try different things with sincerity. Ask your heart. Okay, and then number 3, without, and actually these are, whoops, I put reason 2 here. Let me change that here. Here is reason 3, but actually it's and 4, because there are 2 here that I wanted to compress it into doing just 3 things, but actually I couldn't leave this one out. So we need structure, of course, like anything that we do. It's good to have a comfortable or gentle structure. Some people work really well with firm structure, but maybe that if it's too structured and we're really rigid about not putting our heart into it, as you'll see in a moment, then that's the actual structure can become destructive, can become the reason why you're disconnected. So going back into, this is your sacred space. Structure could be the time of day that you do it, the space where that you've dedicated, the way you measure. I personally, with my clients and me myself, I use my heart rate monitor. There is no day that goes by since 2016 that I don't use it. This for me is what works and what I truly highly recommend. You're measuring your coherence. You're able to track your progress. You track the time you do it, your coherence level. I mean, it's the works. Some people have other ways, of monitoring, like a watch, a heart rate monitor. This is very different though, because it measures actual coherence specifically. But find the structure that works for you, and that goes into, like, we get to practice with different things and find what works for you. And then, okay, this is number 4, and this is my favorite, and this is where true devotion comes in, and that is your why. So maybe your why, maybe you are clear on your purpose. Maybe you're clear on your blueprint, your soul's mission, your why you came here. Maybe what you desire is just to feel like yourself again. Maybe what you desire is just to be at ease, just to be able to think clearly. And wherever you're at, you're on the right path. You can never get it wrong and will never get it done. It is an ongoing process. So, but the why is extremely important for this. So in this, for your reflective question here, ask yourself, what is the deeper reason for showing up every day? What is the deeper reason? Even and be sincere with yourself, even if it is just to feel a little more like yourself, a little better. And that is worth fighting for. That is worth it. And then keep going, and then keep discovering what more there is, because believe me, when you so I didn't have this in the presentation, but I have to insert it here, is that breathe in through your heart. Utilize, bring your heart into it. When we tap our heart into this, when we bring our heart into this, the heart is intelligent. The heart knows. The heart is our true compass. It is our true north. So when you integrate heart, focus, breathing, just the awareness of going into your heart, just allow, just bring that focus from here to in here, while in meditation and outside of meditation, and you'll be reignited. Believe me, you will. Okay, now let's go into some examples. I want to show you some people that are very inspirational for me, that are extremely, yes, people that were devoted and that made, that are icons that we know. Starting off with Frida Kahlo. So, whoops, no, that's Maya Angelou. Here's Frida. But Maya, she devoted time. And again, you can look into her work, but there were rituals that she created for herself, and she showed up and she wrote, and she even was known to rent a room and be in this silence, in this space, for her to connect to that bigger why, for her to be able to tap into what she was here to do. Frida Kahlo, of course, we know that painting was the way that she showed up, because that was the way she channeled her pain, put it into art, and there was that, she transcends time now, but is that showing up daily for larger purpose, for a larger reason. Thich Nhat Hanh, he was the embodiment of devotion. He's a great teacher of mine, a great influence for me, before Dr. Joe, before HeartMath, alongside with HeartMath, alongside with other spiritual practices. Meditation was something that I am deeply inspired by his work, and by being at his monastery and attending retreats. So he was known, of course, for that. I mean, he's truly embodiment of devotion in meditation, mindfulness, being in the present moment. Kobe Bryant. So he was known actually for rehearsing, mentally rehearsing. He was known for meditating. He was known for what he wanted to achieve was excellence. Oh boy, I could go on and on. Bruce Lee, he was somebody that embodied just that emotional alchemy, this the discipline that he had, but he was also deeply spiritual. Michael Phelps, we know him, and also the mental rehearsal, the discipline, the dedication to excellence. And then we have, this is from a walking meditation in a week-long retreat that Dr. Joe Dispenza. We know ordinary people doing the extraordinary, doing the uncommon, people like you and me, knowing that there is something more to life, to healing, to connecting, to transcendental experiences, mystical moments. What is it that is your why? What is your why? And again, it may be just being able to take a few steps is your big why. And that is worth recommitting to. Maybe your big why is already, you are tapped into. There is a larger, my mess, my pain is going to be transmuted into something more, because I know that all my all the pain, all the struggles, all the challenges that my life has put me through, they're for a larger purpose. They're because they're preparing me for something bigger, and that is worth your devotion. So performance with soul, how devotion elevates your game. So this is where I talk to you about a larger program, a larger course that I'll put information here. It is self-led, or you can also attend at the live course as we go, and we're starting very soon. There's always one starting as of this recording. I will be announcing the start of this one, but we go into these 6 stages of how to enhance your performance, how to create this the clarification of your why, creating your container, creating that space, that sacred space, dropping into devotion as presence, and all those things that do not that interfere with your performance, finding out ways in which you can rid of these. How to track your progress. There are so many ways to track your progress. We'll go deep into that, into the way that I do it, the way other athletes do it. We'll have a tracker, a way that you can create your own, the one that works for you. Finding ways to realign again with your with compassion, without self-judgment again, without guilt. And lastly, the activating your blueprint, which is the most exciting part for me, which is finding out what your soul came here to do. And that you might be very far from that. You might be already getting a glimpse of that. So in this part, we'll go into finding out how you can detect, how you can even create a trail for yourself, notice some of your past experiences that were leading you in this path, in this way, how to detect it with precision, how to actually create a synchronization, so more and more and more of these clues, of these clear visions, of this future self becomes to reveal itself to you. All right, so that is all I have. Hopefully you have taken note of the reasons why. Are you feeling disconnected? And are you being depleted? Can you come back to the heart to create coherence so you can become clearer about your why? Have you made note of things that you can change up, that you can make different, that you can freshen things up so that you become more motivated. Change meditations. Keep playing. Okay, this is the something that is extremely important, and which I will end this presentation, is make it fun. Can you make it fun? Can you find a way to lighten up? Because when we lighten up, everything becomes less weighty and a lot clearer. So if we can find a way to make it fun, bring all the elements that make you feel inspired, in spirit, and find out your why. I would love to discover your why with you, whether it is one-on-one with me or in the Performance with Soul training and course. So I look forward to continuing this journey with you. I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye for now, and remember to always come back to your heart.